Hey, we're here today to answer the question, how do you maximize the learning with Winter Promise with a variety of ages? Well, Winter Promise is created pretty much from the ground up to keep families schooling together. So everything we've created for you is designed with the idea of you teaching a variety of ages, not just one student. Which is not to say it doesn't work great with one student. It does. But it really works awesome with a group of students as well. And most of us do have a variety of ages. So to start with, almost every one of our themes is created for a range of ages. And you'll see those different range of ages when you go on to any of our pages about a specific theme. Take Adventures in the Sea and Sky, for example. It's created for grades 4 through 8. But you can extend the learning with a younger learner guide for 1st through 3rd grade. And you can even go up higher with students, grades 7 through 9, with an older learner guide if you really want to add some content. Many of our themes really offer that kind of flexibility to parents. And so we're going to be kind of referencing some things from American culture today as examples of things that help parents really work with a variety of ages effectively as part of Winter Promise's overall approach. One of these things that we provide are some pitch-in activities that really allow families to kind of all get involved, and in that way it's very easy for young ages and older ages alike to really get involved. The parents, the activities as they're kind of written themselves, offer parents the opportunity to assign the harder or more difficult or more involved things to the older students while the younger ones pitch in with other things that really are perfect for their age group. An example of one of these might be from American culture, our Ellis Island immigrant activity, wherein the whole family pitches together to cut apart these different functional tools that you use as an immigrant to decide what your fate would be as an immigrant. And the family kind of sets up an immigrant station in the house, and then you work through kind of these tools and resources to actually feel like you've arrived and are an immigrant yourself, and you find out what your fate is through going through the steps that an immigrant would when they would arrive. That's just one example of a pitch-in activity. Another would be like in American culture, if you want to be a Civil War photographer. This is something that works really well as a group activity. One person can be the photographer. Another person can be the props person. Maybe another person will collect personnel and put everybody in the correct pose. And then other people can add other dimensions to the picture. So everybody in the family can kind of get involved in the thing that they're really good at and be involved in a different way and have their own set of responsibilities to really make that activity happen. If it's one student, they can kind of do everything. So these activities are really meant to have the ultimate in flexibility to help families keep schooling together. We also build in on your own activities that are designed to allow students to perform at different levels depending on their ages. A great example of this in American culture would be the New Law Tenement Architect activity. In this, students are studying about the new laws that are passed to help make tenement living safer and just more healthy because of the way plumbing and sunlight and all of that was addressed as to needs for buildings. Well, students of various ages, if a 4th grader is encountering this, he or she can do it at their own level, whereas a student who's 8th, 9th grade can really get involved and do maybe a little bit higher level work and focus on a little bit more of the architecture and how those buildings are put together, how the tenement itself is going to function. So the activity itself is really designed to be something that the student can succeed at no matter what their level. And that means that every student who you have working is going to be able to contribute and do something right at their own level. Another thing to consider is that parents themselves can add their own standards of both success and challenge to a given activity. And by that I mean that if you have a student who's just fantastic at organizing, then you can kind of put that spin into a given activity to kind of really meet them where they are and add a little bit more of a challenge or a personal element for them that really will get them involved. The same is true for a highly creative student or a student who's just exceptional at leading people. Adding this element of responsibility or spin to a certain activity just really customizes it for your student, adds to the challenge or the interest or the motivation that they might find in that particular activity, and really is a way to get them involved. So that's one of the ways that Winter Promise is kind of pulled together from the very beginning to help your student, and no matter how many you have, your students get involved and allow you to teach a variety of ages, just no problem. A second thing would be that Winter Promise allows enough on their own work that's built in to allow for one-on-one student time. And by that I mean that students need time on their own to do on their own reading, on their own activities, workbook time. These things allow students to really benefit from not only working on their own, but giving you as a parent enough opportunity to work with one student that can really need your extra time in a specific subject. So while some students are working on their own with reading or activities or workbooks, you can be giving that student that needs the time a little extra when they need it. And it helps to kind of offset your responsibilities as a parent and keep school kind of running. Another thing is that the variety of activities and the things that are offered give you as a parent the opportunity to develop leadership and character in your students by allowing students to buddy up. This is something we did as parents in our school. Buddying up allows mom a break now and then from answering every single question a younger student has, and also allows older students to develop leadership skills and abilities, and gives your younger ones the character growth opportunity of taking instruction from the older kids that you have at home. These things not only encourage growth on the particular parts of the students, but they really do keep a really good family feeling together going as kids encounter the fact that character involves growing as a person and listening to the person who is in charge of you. It's a character growth opportunity for young students, as well as developing those leadership skills in your older ones that you just really want to be a part of your school experience.